Hey, there we go. Hey, it's 8 o'clock hour on July 29th. My name is John Peasy, and welcome to the cool crap that we loved. And I am super excited tonight because we're multi-streaming. We're not only on Facebook Live tonight, but we're also on one of my favorite things called Stream, which is, by the way, this stream is different. It's called striketv.org, and it's an additional stream. And we're happy to be part of that network right now. So you can see us in multiple places, and we'll be putting that up in just a few minutes. But tonight's exciting because I'm here in my green screen studio that's way deep in the basements of New Jersey with a dance floor in front of me, which I don't do. And I want to bring on my co-host tonight because we have a really great guest, and we're going to talk about the 90s sitcoms, which we all grew up with. So in order to do that, let me bring on my guest, who, by the way, I'm looking at right now, is wearing sunglasses. As a matter of fact, he kind of looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a thyroid condition. But here he is, Mr. Walt. He poops a lot. There he is.
That wasn't very nice. Let me tell you something. I just wanted to look good for Strike TV tonight. I just wanted to look good. I'm losing my voice a little bit. I thought I had COVID, but I found out that it was only strep. So I'm good to go. You ever go into the doctor? I went into the doctor for my throat was bothering me, and they took a test for strep. And I came back and they said I didn't have strep. I was like, whoo, as long as I don't have COVID, I'm good.
It was definitely strep? No.
Well, I'm waiting on the 3-day test. I got the 1-day test that said no, but the 3-day test still got a chance to take me down.
Wow. So you're good. Thank goodness. So you're all good. I'm happy to hear that you're healthy. I like the glasses. It's a whole new looking thing. It's looking good.
Whole new. Yeah, you know why? Because we're on Strike TV tonight. It's something new. We're streaming to 50 different avenues on striketv.org, and we're going to be famous one day.
I tell you the truth, it's exciting to me to be able to stream more than one place at a time, and I don't know what's going to happen. But speaking of which, this is what I can't show you that now. I was going to just show you something what I look like with this with my COVID when I had the COVID. So speaking of which, more importantly, in the 90s, there was no such thing as COVID, but here we are.
Here we are, just a different COVID.
It was, what was it? COVID 15, COVID 10. Yeah, SARS. COVID 90. Yeah, it's a whole new world.
I could eat SARS right now.
That's right. I have strong antibodies. I'm ready. I'm ready to kill. I'm ready to kill again.
Give me SARS. Give me H1N1. Give me it all. I'm ready.
By the way, I want to give you that. Boom, right in the corner.
Boom.
Cool crap. Isn't that cool? Welcome, Art. Walt. welcome. That's kind of cool. So we got lots of new bells and whistles coming up over here. So we're going to go right into it. And when it comes to the 90s, what were you doing besides sitting on the couch after a day at work, eating bonbons and watching what? That's a good question.
I was working, but you know what? I'm starting to think I have a photogenic memory because I don't forget anything.
Really?
I don't forget anything.
You surprised me
when it comes to TV.
You surprise me. You always surprise me when you pull stuff out of the air. I'm like, whoa.
It's amazing. And I was one of those dopes that used to wait. I used to be the first guy to get the TV guide, and I was that dummy that did the puzzle in the back before anybody else did it. And I used to look down and see what was on, and I remembered everything.
Remember
8 o'clock Tuesday night.
Remember TV Guide?
Oh yeah.
I remember it was delivered in the mail, and I remember it was always really thick. And I also remember that as you went through it, you would go. I always would scan ahead, looking like what's coming on 3 days from now, 4 days from now, 5 days from now. Yeah. Essentially, it's the same thing that we have a menu on the TV for now. But but essentially, if you're a young person,
it was like a little Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Right. It was the little Reader's Digest. It was about that thick, and it had everything, and it actually had stories about people coming on that week. And then they brought it into like a magazine, and I was like, yeah, I'm not even ordering this. But you had to have the TV guide.
If you're a millennial, they wouldn't even know about the TV guide.
Don't even know what it was.
You get a guide on top, overlay. You have an overlay guide on televisions now as part of the game. It's like, you have to explain this to somebody. If they're young, they wouldn't even understand it. That's how old we are.
I used to hear this every day. Barbara, where's the TV guide? That was my father. You always lose it. Nobody knew what was on TV if you didn't have the TV guide.
It was only 9 channels or 8 channels anyway. What was it? CBS,
Channel 2,
ABC.
Channel 4, Channel 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and then 47 if you wanted to watch Lucha Libre.
Oh, wait. There was one more. What was the one Uncle Floyd was on? That one Up Deep 64 or something?
Channel 68.
68.
Channel 68 from Newark.
What was that?
I was on that show.
I love that show. It was great.
Yeah, you know what? I just became friends with Looney Skip Rooney from the show on Facebook. Oh, really? Maybe we can get him to come on.
I'm sure we'd love to. I don't know if we can get Floyd on. Floyd doesn't even have a flip phone at this point. He doesn't have a technology guy.
He has a regular house phone.
Yeah.
Regular house phone.
He's not in.
When you book him, you got to call his house phone.
Yeah, but I don't want to call in. I want to see him live. But hey, it's all good. Let's go. Let's get right into it. So, I got some. I don't know where you want to start up from, but in the 90s, I was working a lot as a performer, so I really didn't watch a lot of the shows. But I will start with one. So I'm going to move my head to the left, which is your right, I think. There you go. Everyone now, I know. I've actually worked with him many times before he became very popular. He's a really good guy.
Yeah,
Howard Beach, New York. Yeah, everybody was Ray Romano, and he was a stand-up and worked locally all around New York, New Jersey, whatever.
New York City, Ray Romano.
Great guy.
He was a spin-off. He was a spin-off from Kevin James, King of Queens. He was friends with Kevin James on the show. Yeah.
And the guy behind him that you were on with, he's a stand-up comic too.
That's Brad Garrett.
Yeah, he owns a comedy club in Vegas now called Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. I don't know what's going on over there with that. It's probably closed.
The big one, yeah. The two parents are dead, which is Doris Robert and Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle was the monster in Young Frankenstein.
That's correct.
That.
That's right. Yeah, and
Patricia Heaton.
Yeah. They actually, I hate to say this. I mean, I knew Ray and everything. I worked him 100 times. He was a great guy, good family man, really good guy. Not the kind of guy that would be at a club looking to try to get a woman or anything. He was like a really straight, good guy, funny comic. But I'm sorry to say, I didn't watch this a lot. I was like doing my gigs.
I watch it now. It's funny. It's funny now. This was one of the shows that I used to have to watch on DVR all the time. Ray and his wife, Deborah, they are me and my wife, Gail.
Really?
They used to fight about everything.
So let me ask you a question. If somebody like an alien came down from another world and we had to give him something, what sitcom would you give him? Would you give him Everybody Loves Raymond? I wouldn't give him you because I'd be saying like, this is not representative of every person in America. I want to give you Walt. You got something over there on your
list. I would probably give him, I would give him.
There's something on your lip. There you go. Thank you. What the hell was that?
I think that was a piece of pork chop.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, all the Jews are going to love that. I
was a little hungry.
It's a Jewish holiday tonight, so wherever they are, they're not watching. They're not going to care about your pork chop.
Talking about the pork.
Speaking of pork chop, how about this? Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. This is a great show too. I used to watch this all the time.
We were both in it.
What's his name? The father. Who's the father in the show?
I don't recall.
I put my head over his. Oh, geez, I can't think of his name. His son sings Blurred Line. What's the song? You have it. What's the song?
I don't.
Ho 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 ho. What's that song you got on your clicker? Blurred Lines, right?
Oh, Blurred Lines. That's right. And Blurred Line. I can't play it because it's copyright infringement. But Blurred Lines is the son of an actor. Right.
That's him. It's
that's the dad. That was the dad. Okay.
That's the dad. But anyway, the famous guy that came out of it was Kirk Cameron. But just a little known fact on this was that I think the producers were Mets fans, and the name of the family was Seavers, and their next door neighbors were Koosman. And the New York Mets pitchers were Tom Seaver and Jerry Koosman. So that's why they named that the TV show The Seavers.
I had to go look. I had to go look it up, and of course, it was, Robert Thicke.
Oh, Robin Thicke is the son.
The son,
It's Alan Thicke. Alan Thicke was the father.
There you go.
Alan Thicke, yeah. And then the mother was cute on that show too.
If you can only use this knowledge for good.
I don't. Right? I use it for evil.
Okay, I was growing. How about this one, Walter? We go King of Queens. It's a great show. Really great. It was, actually, wasn't this supposed to be the modern day honeymooners based on the honeymooners? Like it's the same thing, really, with like a new modern twist.
Correct, Kevin. Again, a lot of people say that I'm the husband. I'm the husband and my wife is the wife on this because they fight all the time too. It's Doug Heffernan and what's her name? Casey or whatever, something. But it's a funny show. It's funnier now, and I never watched it when it was on in the first place. But I tried to get Kevin James for this show through his partner, Rock Rubin.
I worked with him many times too back before he hit it, and he was a really good guy. And his brother, Gary Valentine, was a great comic too. As a matter of fact, I worked with Gary many times more than his brother. And I remember I was very fond of Gary. Had a really funny bit in his act. Speaking of which, Dan Nav, yes, you're correct. Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, Dan Nav. We also landed on the moon, pal. Thanks for getting here late.
No. He didn't get. He's not late. It's us. I'm behind on the comments. It's me. It's all my fault. Now he's going.
Trivia
Carrie.
Question. What? Trivia. Oh, Carrie. That's right. That's the wife's name.
And there you go. Charlie Fisher knows. That's right. Tish B'Av, whatever that is. Somebody told me about that today. Jewish holiday. Matter of fact, I should say the joke that my friend wrote. A friend of mine is the funniest guy I know. He said tomorrow is a Jewish holiday. I said, what is it? And they just told me what it is. And get a load of this. He wrote this, and I thought it was very, very funny. He says, I came up, and the joke is, he says, so tonight and tomorrow is Tisha B'Av, a major sad 25-hour Jewish fast day. One of the rules is no marital relations. So despite the sadness, I'm looking forward to 25 hours of not arguing with my wife.
Well, secretly, I'm celebrating that holiday also.
For years?
Oh, yeah, for years. For years, it doesn't happen. The trivia question I have for the King of Queens and Gary Valentine, who was on that show, what is their real last name?
Ooh.
In real life?
Ask the people. Let's bring this out to the people.
If anybody knows that, Kevin James and Gary Valentine both have the same last name. It's not James and it's not Valentine. What is it?
I know both of them, and I do not know their last. I know him as Gary Valentine and Kevin James. Yeah, he's always Kevin James. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah,
I don't know if anybody think they were brothers and different names.
I think it was. I remember back in the day that when I used to do gigs with Gary a lot more because they seemed very competitive. The two brothers.
We should be able to get Gary Valentine on his show.
I think I would ask him. I would believe he would do it. I haven't spoken. I have a story. We should. I'm not going to bother with it now, but we got stuck in a snowstorm on our way to a gig and just said the hell with it and turned around and went home. We had the fun. We laughed our ass for 2.5 hours in the snow and all the way back. We never made the gig. It was hilarious. We just had a good time. We just said, who cares? Let's go home. And I had a cell phone at the time. Remember the big batteries in the back of the car with the cell phone with the you're carrying around like 7 bricks in order to make a phone call.
It cost you like $12 a phone call. Yeah. You didn't want to use it unless you absolutely, like you were snowed out. You were stuck in the snow. There you go. That's the name.
Is that the name?
That's the name.
Get out of here. Dan Nav.
Dan Nav.
Good for you, Dan Nav.
Nipfing and Gary Nipfing.
You know what that means?
You know why.
He's able to Google quicker than everyone else.
Yeah. Now you know why they go by the last name of James and Valentine.
Yeah. How do you pronounce KNP?
Nipfing.
Nipfing. Oof.
Nipfing.
Was the K silent?
I would think so. Yes. You don't hear me say Nipfing. It's Nipfing.
Yeah. The KKK is not silent. So here we go. The
stupid
growing pains. Boom. King of Queens. And
we did that.
I know it's a great show. I'm just bringing it back up again. Now this is like one of the greatest shows in television for many, many years. And out of that came a lot of great other things. So Seinfeld, they said it was a show about nothing, and it was one of the most popular shows ever. And Jerry left this show at the top of the game, the top of the
9
game.
seasons.
Yeah, and they were offering him like $1 million or $2 million a show or something, and he just said no. And by the way, I think he mentioned hearing him say that something like the reason why he left was because he was at the top. He knew it was at the top. There was no place else to go, and you're better off walking away at the top. Which, by the way, you got to give somebody a lot of credit for that thinking. I really do.
Walking away from that money, but he's probably getting about $500 million in what do you call it? Syndication rights for the show, because there's not a market there. You could be in the deepest, darkest reaches of India, and this show is on.
That's the truth. And in different languages and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
But that started out as the Seinfeld Chronicles, if you remember. It wasn't that good in the very beginning. Elaine wasn't on the show in the beginning. And then they brought Elaine on, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which I think her father is really, really rich.
Well, she wanted to follow in the footsteps. Anyway, I always thought she was really cute too. She's a cute girl. She seemed like she had a really good personality. I don't know her. I mean, she seemed like a fun person, you know. By the way, somebody says, hello. Hi, John. Walt, enjoying the show. You two are funny. Enjoy guests you have on the show. And the picture is my favorite actor. Oh, favorite actress. Okay.
All right. Tell us who that actress is.
I don't know.
I can't make it out.
I don't know. I just had it up.
Just for the record tonight, the show Seinfeld. One of the premises of the show was they were writing a sitcom, and it was a sitcom of a show about nothing, which was a show like Seinfeld, and they were calling it Jerry. So they called the show Jerry inside the show Seinfeld, and they had Jerry as playing Jerry, but they were interviewing people to play the other characters, and the character that played Kramer was, guess who?
The character who played Kramer is a stand-up comic.
No. In real life, his name is Michael Richards, but in the show, Jerry Seinfeld, who played Kramer?
Larry Hankin.
Larry Hankin, our guest. That is true. And he played a crazy Michael Richards.
A crazy Michael. And by the way, he's got the good look for it too. He's got that kind of, he can play it. First of all, he's a very diverse character. He really, really is. By the way, I got to say though, out of all of these gigs, out of all these sitcoms, I think in the 90s, Seinfeld ruled. What do you think? It did.
It was sad, man. I got to tell you something. Here's another thing. I can't find them around the house. They're here somewhere, but I bought all 4 TV guides.
Get out of here.
And it had each character on the front of it. I always wanted to do that shadow box, put the 4 TV guides. You know, I have it somewhere. I can't find it.
Listen, if you hit a tree tomorrow, get COVID and drop dead, I'll take them.
You take them. Why not?
Yeah. All right. How about Friends? Now, listen, every woman loved this show. Women, wives, and everything. They loved it. I in the 90s, I wasn't watching a lot. I think those 2 girls are gorgeous. Yeah, I wasn't into
girl.
No, I like
3 girls there.
I like only 2.
Which ones?
What's the name in the middle and the one below?
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston and what's her name? What's her name?
The brunette, Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox. Yeah, I thought Courtney Cox was gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, she was actually. I think she's famous. You know how one of her most famous things were how she was discovered. I don't know if she was actually discovered for this, but the Bruce Springsteen "Dancing in the Dark" video. He brought a girl up on stage to dance with him, and that was her.
I think I did remember hearing that a long time ago. And then the other girl was the producer's daughter. Am I right?
Lisa Kudrow. I didn't know that.
Isn't she like her father's a big time movie producer or something?
That I didn't know, and that would explain. That would explain a lot why I am not in TV.
Because your father is not a movie producer.
That is correct.
Wait a minute. Look, but I gotta have to. That's a funny line. Actually, looking at you right now, I could tell you a couple other reasons why you're not TV.
But I gotta be honest. I wouldn't look like this if I was in TV.
But you could have played the King of Queens, his father, or something.
Why not?
Look at these little eyes and this fat cheek too. I'm not in TV either.
You got jowls. I'm starting to get them like you, jowls.
Let
Yeah, you should make a dummy that looks like you.
Don't thank you. I look at myself every day. It's enough. I have enough of that. But I got to say that was a classic
Friends
show.
was great, but that was another one. They had a next door neighbor who was a little crazy, and his name was Mr. Heckles. Guess who played Mr. Heckles on Friends?
Was it Larry Hankin?
Larry Hankin is the guy.
She's talking about Larry Wilcox. All right, okay, I gotcha.
Oh, she was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, she met her husband on Saturday Night Live, according to Bob. Okay, I don't know.
Yes, Christopher Guest. No, was it Christopher Guest?
Okay.
No, that was Christopher Guest. Yes, I know who it is. She did. The guy used to do Weekend Update.
Well, everyone on the show did a Weekend Update. There was so many people.
It wasn't Christopher Guest. He's married to what's her name? Tony Curtis's daughter. Jamie Lee Curtis is Christopher Guest. Somebody will do it.
Look at you. Look at you constipating. That's so funny. I see you're.
I'm just so angry that I don't know this. I know who it is.
I know
one of the guys on there.
Well, it could be because of that COVID that you got going on. Could be the COVID. You got to go. You got to have people stop licking you when you go to stores and things. You got to stop that licking.
I got to stop. I remember a guy one time. He was talking about he had herpes or something like this. It was his last name was Berry. Years ago, had to be in the 80s. And he goes, I got herpes. I got to stop kissing toilet seats.
Is that what he said?
Just a funny line. I never forgot it.
I'm the same way. I get this goofy kind of something stuck in my head. It's just a really bizarre way. So let me buzz along here real quick. Let's see, friends, and then we have this Alf.
Loved it.
I loved
that show.
It was interesting. It was one of the first puppets that was like animatronically created, and it was like very unique, like almost alive. And I remember thinking, oh, if I can only get somebody to make me a ventriloquial dummy that moved around so easily like that. Because back in this time, the technology was low, and I don't know how they actually did it. They probably had like 7 different lines coming into it from different places that you didn't see off screen in a green screen or something.
That was one of those shows I had to see. I think it was on every Friday night, which tells you what kind of a life I really had.
Wow, look, you were married, right?
I was No, I wasn't married at the time.
Really?
You know what ALF stands for? You know how you got the name ALF?
No, what does it stand for?
Bring that back up.
I certainly can. And
ALF. Everybody knows it.
Something alien life force or something, or
form alien life form.
Okay, not bad. I knew it was something. I kind of faintly remember that.
Yeah, that was Willie. Hello, Willie.
Well, everybody know I never look at these pictures until I come on the air. It's not like I'm preparing for those pictures.
And that's the beauty of it.
I want it to be real. Yeah, I don't want to look at this. No, I don't want to. We want to just say these are 2 goofy guys doing it, looking at the stuff that we used to. Like we're having a beer, right? We're sitting here having a cheeseburger. We're at Friendly's right now. Frasier.
That was so funny. It was so funny. You always pick the spin-off before you pick the original. You always do it.
I put them in the haphazard order that they were given to me. But why? What was the spin-off?
This is a spin-off from Cheers.
Of Cheers.
Right.
I told you I was busy in the 90s. I was busy. Very busy.
You always bring it up. It's like, you used to bring the Jeffersons up before you brought up All in the Family.
I was trying to earn my kingdom at the time. I wasn't a big Frasier fan. I know people love this.
How'd that work out? How'd that work out for you?
I'm still working.
Look at what you're doing with me on Wednesday nights.
It's working out very well. I'm getting this surgery to have these lines moved out next week. Did you watch Frasier? You a big fan of that? I was not.
I did. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I did watch it. I did watch it. I liked Frasier. I liked Frasier better on Cheers than I liked him on Frasier.
Right.
I get
it. I wasn't into really much into it, but what are they saying? Alf got in so much trouble, crash a red car in his home. I didn't know that. He must have been drinking.
That's useless information right there.
But that's the kind of stuff we want. That's the useless information we want. Now, this is again. I'll put this up with Seinfeld. This is one of the greatest shows. I really love the comedy writing in this show. To me, like Golden Girls was another show like this. Golden Girls too had writers. I don't know who wrote those shows and how many writers they had, but it was clever, put down 1-2 punch in the face kind of humor. Everything was a line, and it was strong. There was no
laugh after laugh.
Yeah, very quick. And the characters here were really strong. What was interesting about this particular show, I remember going back later on and watching the very first season of it, and you could tell the characters were not developed like they were later on. Like later on, that you just, it's really interesting. The Simpsons are like this. When you watch The Simpsons, you watch the early Simpsons, you could tell Bart and all the characters are not like they used to be. The characters grow with you. They become organically stronger as the seasons go on, and then become confined and defined.
Al became great. Once he started feeling comfortable in that character and what he can get away with, I think Ed O'Neill it just came naturally to him after that. But this was a really funny show. Really funny. I love Peg Bundy. I loved her. And Christine Applegate over there, she was gorgeous then, and she's gorgeous in everything she does now.
Yep, she's one hell of a hot chick. And that, whatever happened to the kid? I don't even know his name. What happened to that kid?
His name is David Faustino.
Nice.
But guess who else? Guess who was in this show?
Larry Hankin.
Larry Hankin was in this show.
I'm good. I'm on the money tonight.
Larry Hankin made an appearance in Married with Children.
Okay, here we go. Mad About You.
Mad About You. I like this show. This was Helen Hunt became very famous from this. She became like a movie star after this show. I mean, Paul Reiser it was a good show. It was,
great comic. Paul Reiser was a great stand-up. Great stand-up comic.
You would think we'd be able to get him on this show.
Maybe. He lives in L.A. I don't know. It's a possibility. I know he was supposed to be here in New Jersey doing a gig, but there wasn't good numbers with it. They made it go away.
I had him over here in Middletown. Somebody had him in Middletown, and he didn't do great numbers here.
What's Fraser's wife's name?
Lilith. Oh, that was on Cheers. That was on Cheers.
Moving along.
BB Newworth. Hang on. I'm even going to take a step further. She was played by BB Newworth. Telling you, I could do it.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Boom. Will and Grace. Great show. Great show.
Great show. I got to be honest. I didn't watch any of it when it came back. I didn't watch any of the episodes. But this was a great show. Will, I didn't care for. Grace, I didn't really care for. But Megan Mullally, which was Karen, and Jack, which was Sean Hayes, they made the show.
It was funny. Well written, funny, a lot of conflict. Really fun. How about Spin City? Now, I didn't watch Spin City ever. Never. Not once, I'm sorry to say.
All right. Well, this was Michael J. Fox's show after, what was the other one he was on? Was he on another TV show?
Yeah, it was one before he got into the big platform.
Family Ties. So he had Family Ties, and then when he got older, he did this show. But there was a couple big. Alan Ruck was in this, and he played Cameron on First Bueller's Day Off, and Barry Bostwick. Barry Bostwick was in this. He played the governor or something.
You watched that show a lot? I didn't really watch.
I did. I watched that all the time. Yeah.
Hey, let me just buzz through a couple more of these real quick because I want to bring on our guest. The Cosby Show. Now, this actually changed history in America for Black Americans. They really did. This was really
another show that I had to watch. It was just so well written, so fun. Cosby obviously is Cosby. Felicia Rashad is there. But the girl, what was the girl's name that married? Was she in it? Mike Tyson? No, she didn't marry Mike Tyson. Oh, she married Lenny Kravitz.
He should have had them all sleeping. It would have been really funny, like they were all knocked out when he's wide awake. That would have been very funny.
Yeah, that's Lisa Bonet, right? Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet. This was, and by the way, I had a couple of friends of mine that were writing for the show back in the day, and they told me a really interesting story. One comic told me that when he first came in, and they sat down and they had the meeting at the table for all the writers. And he came in and he said, Cosby said, listen, whatever you do, I don't want any jokes. And they were like, what do you mean? If there's no set up punch in here, everything, the character has, what he says and comes out of his mouth has to be funny. I don't want it to be a punch, 1-2 punch. So in other words, if you look at like Married with Children and all those kind of shows, they had written, everything was set up in a punch, which I love. But in that particular show, he wanted organically to have characters that were so strong that no matter what they said, it would match their character as being funny. And by the way, that's a much more difficult type of comedy to write because you need to have characters that are well written, thought out, and acted. It's all of that soup, you know.
Guess who wasn't in that show?
Larry Hankin wasn't in there.
He wasn't in that show.
Yeah. It's actually because he's the wrong color. I was in the show.
The obvious thing, Lisa Bonet was in that show, but Bill Cosby didn't knock her out, so she married Mike Tyson. Yeah. He knocked her out. Oh my God! I'll be here.
Bill, honey, can I buy you a drink?
Bill, honey, can I buy you a drink? Oh, it's a joke because that's how he knocked all the girls out and then had his way with them.
I got you. Home Improvement. Fantastic show.
Great show. Tim Allen, former drug addict. Believe it or not, I loved the wife on this show, Patricia. I think it was Patricia Heaton.
Look, you and I love all the women on the show.
I did. I loved it. It wasn't like Suzanne Summers crazy hot. It was just that just average wife,
middle of the America kind of nice looking wife.
That was it, man. I love the fact that woman could hate me just like any other wife could.
And I am sure she would. She would probably enjoy your White Castle's wedding. Home Improvement in the 90s, I was working in the Midwest doing clubs, and I met the woman who was the manager of him. And
Tim Allen?
Yeah, and Tim Allen's manager was this woman in Michigan, I believe it was, Milwaukee, and he had just left her because she brought him to all these places just before he got that show. And when I went to work like this comedy club in Michigan or Milwaukee or something, they come said, listen, whatever you do, don't bring up Tim Allen. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm telling you, don't bring up Tim Allen. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. This is just, remember, we had the cell phones that were 10 pounds. And I mentioned Tim Allen, and she went off the whole entire night complaining about how he left her in the dust, and she brought him right up to the place where he got the deal, and then he dumped her. And she was like the most bitter agent woman. I have to look up her name. She was very nice, but she was really bitterfied, really.
Let me tell you something. That happens a lot in this business.
Yeah.
It happens a lot in this business.
We are way past the time where I really would like to bring on our guest. Because, yeah. So before I even do, I have to tell you this. I didn't know our guest was in, I hate to say this, but and it's I'm sure you probably have heard it. He's got that kind of look at you. He's been in so many things over the years. You know him, and I couldn't place the name, and I knew him from all of those previous things. And then when I started looking up his stuff, you're like, oh my God, we did. Oh yeah, that's right. He was here. Oh yeah, he was there. Oh yeah. What a career. I mean,
let me give you some stuff. Let me give you some stuff on my professional show notes.
Okay.
Right here on a paper plate.
There's some pork chop on there.
These are my professional show notes. He was on CSI, Breaking Bad, My Name is Earl, Monk, Malcolm in the Middle, ER, Friends, Home Improvement, Ellen, Planes, Trains, Automobile, Pretty Women, Vegas Vacation, Billy Madison, Home Alone, The Sure Thing, Married with Children, Mad About You, Seinfeld, Alf, Family Ties, and Friends. And that's just the ones I felt like writing down.
There's literally hundreds. And also Larry...
189.
Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. And he also, I read here too that he studied acting in Syracuse University. And besides his friend roles, he was also known in roles on TV show Seinfeld, as well as major roles, like you said, Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood. He played a significant role in the movie Billy Madison, along with Adam Sandler, and he had a cameo appearances in 3 used films: Home Alone, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and She's Having a Baby, as well as minor roles in The Sure Thing and Running Scared. And in 1980. He shared an Academy Award nomination for the best film live action, Sully's Diner. And there's so many more to mention. I mean, I could just sit here for an hour and read all of his stuff. It's amazing how much stuff he's been in. And I am super happy to have him here. So let's bring him on, Mr. Larry Hankin. Yeah, there you go.
Here he is. Wow. Okay. How can I How can I even follow that introduction? It was so long that even I got bored. That was amazing.
Larry,
I have done that many things. That's impossible. Nobody could do that.
It's quality stuff too, Larry. It's not like, no, it's quality stuff.
No, not at all. No, I mean, look, I was just trying to work and pay my rent. I never kept track of it until I started doing podcasts. You guys have told me what I've done. I never knew all this stuff. I mean,
he must be busy. You must have been moving around all the time. You must have been out to the street, pounding the pavement, doing the auditions, going to place to place. I didn't have
a life. I was just auditioning all the time, And then when I wasn't auditioning, I was making little film shorts. So, yeah,
there's a lot of film shorts. Yeah, there's a lot of film shorts
for a guy who is just an actor. Yeah, I had a full plate, like a CEO or something. But no, it was just an actor, just an actor. But I'm very happy for the list that you just said. But I was not aware of any of that. I would just get a call. Hey, you got an audition over it, blah blah blah. Okay, and then I would get the part and I would memorize it. Oh,
that's amazing.
I think there's a reason actually why. I very recently just figured it out. I was born with ADHD and dyslexia. I'm a dyslexic. So I think that it takes me a very long time to learn lines. That's just one of the things. Focus, not memory, but focus. So whenever I did get a part, it would take me a long time to memorize the part. So that cut into my social life. It really did. I mean, I would have to, take a pass on parties because I had to shoot either in a day or two after that. I had to study. So it didn't come easy, but, hey, I did it,
ADHD. And by the way, I've done a couple of roles and I can't remember anything. I am almost like half brain dead. I have such a hard time committing something to memory. I can't imagine when you're on demand to produce a long script of information. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it just gets really so hard that, I could tell you a short story about memorizing lines. On Breaking Bad, which I loved. I was a fan of it. So if you get a call to do an audition, and I'm not a fan of a lot of things, maybe one or two. That was one. When you get a call to do an audition for something there you go, a fan of, it's like different. It's like you get all nervous and excited, which I don't get about doing my work.
Well, you want to get the part. That's why.
You want to get the part, but you want to do it good. You want to impress them, and also you want to impress yourself. Like, hey, I'm doing Breaking Bad. That's to me, that's very exciting.
It's big time.
So, I get there, it was the first time I've done 3 for Vince. So the first time, so it was the Winnebago. I was crushing the Winnebago, and all I had was 5 lines, very easy, no sweat. Didn't sweat the audition, didn't sweat going, to the show. I was very proud. We get about 45 minutes out into the middle of the desert to this junkyard. I get in my costume and everything. And I go into my Winnebago, and always, there's your part on the dresser, just in case you need it. It's in a small little thing. So in case you can put it in your pocket and you're on the set, you need to look at your own, just do it like that. Okay, so there it was. So 5 lines. So I look at it, and it's a full-page monologue. Now, that to me is disastrous as a dyslexic. And I knew I couldn't memorize that. And I asked the guy, the AD, how long do I have? And he says 2 hours. I said, I can't do it. And I started to, get crazy.
Your mind screw. Yeah, your mind screw yourself.
You just go, holy cow, I can't do this. And I'm telling him, I can't do this, man. I can't do this. You don't understand. I have to get the script days in advance. That's in my contract. So he left. I was too excited for him. So he left. I said, how long do I have? He says 2 hours. So I tried. Didn't go in. I mean, I got the opening line and maybe one other. Okay. But I wouldn't cop to it. That's the key. I wouldn't cop to it. So when he knocks on my door 2 hours later, and I was trying, hold on. He knocks on my door. He says, "Okay, you're up." I said, "Okay, fine." I go to the set, and I figured out how to do it so I could do it. So when I get to the set, the director says, "How you doing, Larry? Are you ready to go?" I go, "Yeah, but listen, I figured out how to do this." He goes, "Oh, really? How are we going to do this, Larry?" I said, "Well, listen, if we could break it up, like you cut to him, you cut to me, you cut to him, you cut to him. So if you do it in sections, I probably can read them. Wouldn't that be cool?"
Yeah.
"No, we're going to do a walk and talk. You just get 100 feet down there and you just walk towards the camera and say the whole thing all at once, and you go home after one take." And I go, "Okay, fine. Okay." "You problem? You got any problem?" "No, no problem." "Okay, get 100 feet down there." I walk 100 feet down there. "You ready, Larry?" "Yeah." So I figured I was going to improvise it. That's what I had in my mind. I was going to.
Sure.
I had that happens a lot. Words in there and everything. So what the heck? If not, I'm going to get fired, and that didn't bother me at all. So in other words, it kind of calmed me. I said, "Well, I'm going to get fired. Basically, I'm going to try to improvise, but I know, bottom line, I'm going to be fired. So let's just get this over with, and let me
go."
I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Good way to think of it. Great way to think of it.
So I get to there and I start talking. He goes, "Okay, and action, Larry." So I'm walking towards the camera. And I'm improvising, and I'm blah, blah, blah. And what I had to improvise in the set, in the script and improvise, was legalese to keep the cop out of the Winnebago. I don't know if you remember the scene.
Absolutely.
But cop out of the Winnebago because Aaron and Brian were in there hiding from the police. So I had to legally tell him that he can't go in there because it's on my property and I own it, and go home. But it had to be a long monologue. So I started going blah, 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 blah. And I get to the end and he says, "Okay, cut." And I think, "Okay, Larry, you're fired." That's what I hear in my head. "Larry, you're fired." Okay. And he goes, "Okay, let's just do it one more time."
So you did it completely different.
I thought, holy cow, I memorized the whole thing. I mean, he didn't say a word, not a word. And if I have to do it again, he's got it in the can. Now I don't have to be nervous. Now I can improvise it again. But if I go off book or something, it doesn't matter. He's got it. So I'm really cool now. I'm grooving. Oh, wow, I aced this. I go back to the 100 feet out, and all of a sudden I see the script girl coming towards me. A bad sign.
It's going to change it. It's going to change it.
Bad sign with pencil poised. That means she's underlined something or other, and she's going to tell me what I did wrong. So I'm taking it, totally cool because I've seen this. I've forgotten a line or I've forgotten a word, and she's going to tell me what it is. Cool. She comes up to me and I go, "Yeah, so okay, big deal. What did I forget?" And she says, "The whole thing." And she looks at me. Everything is circled. The entire monologue is circled.
How does that make you feel? Because I've been on sets where
in shock, but I was thinking I'm going to get fired. So I immediately cooled myself out. Oh my God. Really? I have to, okay, I'm going to be fired. Boom. And then I was calm again. So then she says, well, I said to her, in deference to myself, I said, "Yeah, but I got the gist of it."
You can't say "gist" to young girls today.
So she says, "The director wants you to say it verbatim." Oh, okay. And that's what I said, "Okay, fine." And then I hear the director say, "Hey, Larry, is everything okay?" And I go, "Yeah, it's fine." Fine. I will not cop to it. I will not cop. No, right. So he starts walking towards me. So I said, "Oh, Jesus, this is going to be a meeting out here." And when he gets there, finally, he didn't say anything. He's just walking, and we're just waiting for him to get to us, 100 feet. 100 feet. And as he's getting to us, the cinematographer now called, "Hey, Cy, aren't you going to stand by the camera?" And he goes, "No, I'm going to walk with my actor." And then I go, "Oh, no, man. It's like kindergarten. He's going to walk with me."
Yeah.
Book. So what is he going to do? Call over to me? I mean, we're shooting. He's not. What good will that do? So I think I'm going to get fired. Okay. So he comes, stands next to me, and he's got the book open, the director. And I say, look, the other thing I said to her was, I got the gist of it. And she said, the actor wants you to make a verbatim. And my retort to that was, I want to talk to the writer. So I figured he would, commiserate with me.
So you think that girl is pushing on you, like she has her own agenda, but maybe the writer's
yeah. I mean, she was like, she owned the place. She was really just into that, so I said, well, let me talk to the writer. And she said, the director wrote this. So there you go. That's verbatim. Okay. All right. Okay. She says, why? Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong.
No, you're just hoping to slick by it.
So he goes, okay. And he yells to the camera, and you ready, Larry? Yeah, I'm ready. Action. And I start to walk and talk. Now I had the first 2 lines memorized that I did. So I go, blah, blah, blah. And his head is buried in the script. He's walking in like this. And he's this far away because he said, where's the camera off? Where does it? It's right here, right here. So he's that far away from me.
And he's going. He didn't say that. I didn't write that.
I'm improvising. I look to the side, and he's right there, and he's got his head in the book. And I'm improvising. I think he hasn't corrected me yet. I must be right on. I get to the end, and he goes, cut. Okay, thank you, Larry. You're going home. There was a limo to drive me all the way back. We were in the middle of the desert. So there's a car there. Okay, Larry, you're wrapped for today. Everybody, Larry's wrapped. Thank you very much, Larry. And I left. I didn't know what happened, So I had to wait 2 weeks to see the show because I wanted, how are they going to, I don't know. Anyway, I told my friends to watch it because I wanted to compare to see if I saw what they saw. I watched the show and I start to walk, blah, 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 the 2 lines. And then they cut to Aaron, and they cut to Brian, and then they cut to the cop, and then they cut to Aaron and Brian, and then to me for 1 line that I had correct, and then and then they're going back and forth to me. Okay, so here's what they did. Obviously, they took both improvisations, which were total improvisations, but they were in legalese. In other words, I knew from the script that they had to keep the guy out of the Winnebago. So they just cobbled together a voiceover, and that's what there is. It's just my voiceover, just from pieces. And then every time I said something correctly, whether it was in the script or not, but something correct to keep them out, they cut to me. So in the scene, I'm in it for maybe 5 to 6 seconds.
Wow.
2 seconds a shot for a line. And then they would go back to the other guys. But it worked perfectly. So now I asked my friends, I said, okay, what did you see in that scene where I'm keeping the cop out of the Winnebago? And all of them said, well, you were walking and talking and you were keeping the cop out of the Winnebago. I said, well, but really exactly what did you see? You were walking and talking and keeping the cop. And they cut from you to the cop to inside and then back to you. I said, well, how long was I on? He said, well, you were on the whole time. I mean, you were talking to them and they were talking to you. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, that's not what happened, man. That editing, movies is magic, man.
It is magic.
Everybody thought it was me talking the whole time and they were cutting to them. No, 7 seconds, maybe 6 seconds.
Did you when you taped this back then, you didn't realize? Did you realize what success it was going to become, or did you know it was already successful?
No. By the time I was in the third year, yeah, there was a success because I was a fan by then. I didn't watch the first 2 years like you.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
It's great. Great, man.
It's great.
Just get it and just watch it for a whole week.
Just change television. Everything started becoming these huge,
yes, it started the binge watching.
Yeah, you were in season 3 as a junkyard, and you returned in episode 5 and Live or Free or Die.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
No, Larry. Oh, yeah, Live Free or Die.
Can you try to get on Ozark for me? I love Ozark. Can you get on Ozark for me?
Nah, I'm through with that. I'm through.
He's done.
I can just see him doing that Liberty Mutual commercial. Liberty Bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity. I like that guy. I like that guy. He's cool. Liberty Bibbity. Because I'm an actor, and he was saying actor things that would just. So the writer of that, or if he improvised that or whatever, But
Liberty Boots.
This is a line. Now they're doing that a lot. Even on some insurance companies doing it. And then they go line. No, you were talking about insurance. Blah blah. Yeah,
Larry. When I think of all, I was in a couple of movies myself, and people don't notice about movies. Maybe you could tell us about it. A lot of people think like when they see what's on the screen, it's like the greatest thing. They don't realize it's a lot of hurry up and wait. Like you get there early in the morning and you're in a trailer, you wait, and you're like a monkey in a cage almost waiting. And then the minute they need you, you need to just come out of the cage, jump through the hoops, do your magic, and then get out. And you're sitting around waiting for the next thing happening again. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. But I don't think people realize what movies are really like. Do you find that to be the case in your career with all the past movies?
Yeah, I was doing a podcast the other day, and they asked me kind of the same question, but I was talking about how they really make movies as opposed to what you're watching. And there's a lot of hurry up and wait, but there's also just a lot of wait. I mean, period. There's no hurry up. There's just wait. Because for you to hurry up and wait, the waiting part, somebody has to do something. That's why you're waiting. So you just wait. Them that's got to hurry up. You're just waiting. And also, I told somebody something, their mind was blown, but I guess you don't realize this. The camera only runs for 3 minutes, the most. And
really?
Why is that? Because all scenes now, because so many people are sending screenplays to Hollywood from all over the world.
Sure.
You can't send a screenplay even over the transom anymore, or have a friend do it. Now they have a phalanx of internet guards who charge you money and then read it first before they send it down the line. And there's a line. So your script, okay, so to combat the fact that they were inundated with scripts, they started having rules for how a script had to be written to be even read for 10 pages. So what these guards do is they read the first 10 pages. And if they get to like 5 pages in and the scene is starting to get too long, or if they get bored after 5 pages, that's it. You're dead.
It's done.
So what I did, I guess that's why they cut scenes down to 3 minutes. It's for the readers. It's not for the directors or the actors. So even if they say your close-up and your close-up and my close-up, first they shoot a master. Well, if the scene is 3 pages and it's 1 minute a page, the master will only go for 3 minutes. Okay, now we're going to go in and get your lines, and then we're going to get your lines. Well, you ain't going to talk for 3 minutes. You're going to talk for only your lines. So it's less than 3 minutes. You're only going to talk for less than 3 minutes. So the camera never runs for more than 3 minutes on anything. So it's everybody thinks that the whole scene was shot like that, or the whole movie was shot in an hour or hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that at all. And then it's shot out of sequence. So you don't know, what was I doing? Am I doing this before or after I just did what I just did?
I know what you mean about the sequence too. And what about, how was it working with, in particular, in this particular Breaking Bad? I want to bring up some pictures of other shows that you've done, but how was it?
We also got to do his art before
I want to do the art too. But Bryan Cranston is a wonderful actor. He's really well known.
Great, man. Are you kidding? Yeah. That was great working with him. However, it was very hard because he's a minutia guy. I mean, I went up on my lines twice. Little short little things. And he just, he kind of chewed me out a little.
He's like very exact.
Aggressive, a little passive aggressive.
See, I don't like him. I don't like that guy.
The guy's a great actor, though. You can't take it away.
I don't like him because he leaves left to right.
I mean, I didn't argue with him. I mean, I'm sorry. I'll try. So it bothered me so much that I went over to the director. And I said, can I just wait a minute for a second? I got to ask you a question. They stopped shooting. Went over to the director during that scene where I went up on my lines. And I went, look, Bryan won't even look at me during the scene. I went up on my 2 lines twice. am I holding up anything? Am I doing anything wrong? Because I mean, he's making me really nervous. I don't know what's going on. So the director said, all right, one, Larry, first of all actors go up in their lines. That way, forget them. That's what all actors forget their lines. So don't worry about that. Two is, fuck Cranston. We're losing the light. Get back in the scene, will you?
Moving on. Hey, there's a couple of questions here. Man. What do you think of this? So hi, Larry. I watched 8 is Enough play a garbage worker told Tom not to pick up garbage because of my weight. My question is, what is it like working with John Candy is what they're asking.
It's great. He's a great guy. He kept on giving me funny lines or giving me funny shtick or, helping me or just, he was a buddy. I mean, the thing is that he knew my work and I knew his. So we were kind of, funny guys, so there wasn't that Cranston me thing.
Mentality thing. Yeah. How about this? My favorite role.
And me and John and Steve Martin, we were in a movie together, one of John Hughes' movies.
Plane Trains and Automobiles. And
us three did an improv off of the cab ride scene. That cab ride scene where I was
in the beginning.
Okay, well, that was in the cab. But no, that wasn't in the cab. The only time that we had a real cab was a long shot when I drove into the motel. We're really in a cab and we drove in. But all that entire scene of us driving in a cab was on a sound stage, and the wheels were off. The cab was up on wooden boxes, and the things passing by as we were driving, those are stagehands holding trees, and they would run by, or they would run by with lights, or trees. So it was very disconcerting because it wasn't real to us, but in the movie it looked.
The magic of the movies. How about this?
That's a great year.
We improvised a scene, an entire scene, that cab scene. We improvised all day long.
That's great.
It was written. It was written, but we improvised it, and he made a film short about it. He made a film short of the improvisation of me, John, and Steve improvising in the cab about driving in there.
Hey, that's cool. Let me ask you this. First thing that comes to your mind when you look at these pictures here, real quick on this one, Tom Pepper.
Yeah, what about it?
What's the first thing you think of when you think back of that day?
I didn't steal the raisins. I don't know anything about raisins. I would have to kill you if I told you.
Great was
this.
Mr. Heckles. More girls under 14 love Mr. Heckles than love Bryan Cranston.
This picture.
That's me.
I know.
The real me.
That's the real you. Yeah. How about this? Now this is history here.
Oh, that was really great. I loved that was the best time of my life, man.
How was
3 months with Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel. Don Siegel is the director. Better than Clint Eastwood. I just hung around.
More better.
Oh, but both of them.
I got to be honest. I thought that was Christopher Lloyd.
No, but I was on 3 months on Alcatraz, and every day we get up at 6 o'clock to catch the 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock boats. 20 boats, 200 prisoners, 200 extras to be the prisoners on it. All these boats would go out in the morning. There were tourist boats. You carry about 50, 25, 10 people. Out there, you stay there the entire day because you couldn't go anywhere. There's no boats back until at night, 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
I don't know how old Larry is, but we were just talking about all the night. What did you watch growing up, Walt? Because you and I were almost on the same page.
Mary Hartman.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Paladin.
Prisoner Cell Block H.
I didn't watch much television. I don't know what I watched. I can't remember. Like those Steve McQueen show, the Wanted, a lot of cowboy shows, Jim Garner, those are all cowboy shows, funny cowboy shows, vicious.
What about candy? Favorite candy?
Sullivan Show. What?
Favorite candy?
What's that?
Candy.
What's your favorite candy?
My favorite candy. I don't eat candy.
Growing up.
I'm back when you were a kid.
What?
When you were a kid, back in the day.
Back in the day. Oh, you know those candy corns from Halloween, or
Yeah.
That's
those,
the guy who eats it.
No, I know. Halava. I was like a nut for halava. I would eat as much halava as I get my hands on. I don't know why. I don't know what halava even was, but I loved it, man.
What is it?
I don't know. I have no idea to this day. And Joe and what do you call it? Almond Joy?
Oh God, who doesn't love Walt? Almond Joy.
Yeah, that was really great.
Yeah.
So, wow. But no, I'm a health nut. So since I'm like in my 20s, I really been cool about sugar. And
you exercise, you work out, you eat
don't eat anything white. There's a hint for you. You just want to, be casual about it. I mean, not have to remember anything. Just remember, don't eat anything white. That's all, and you got it. You're down.
My wife says that. My wife's like, white bread, you're not supposed to eat. White rice, you're not supposed to eat.
Sugar, anything white.
What about ice cream?
Potatoes.
Vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream.
Eat chocolate.
I don't anything with sugar. See, that all has sugar in it.
So you work out?
You can't judge health by me. I'm very healthy, but I'm a nut. I mean, people don't get me started.
Avila is most trending on Google.
Almost. Yes, I've made a dent.
What character did you play on WKRP Cincinnati? Do you remember that?
The bartender.
Mm-hmm. Bartender. So let me tell you, this show is about the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the things that you grow up with as well. Now, me and Walt talk about these things all the time. Did you, as a kid, have a favorite toy? Did you have a favorite? Your favorite like cartoon? Your favorite?
Walt Kelly, Lenny Bruce. People who are intelligent. That I was always drawn to intelligent humor.
How'd you get here?
Well, this is my deal. I figure, what the heck? Let's see what the other half does.
There you go. Thank you.
Let's slum for a while, I mean,
a lot of people don't know this.
Mask. I'm going to be with you guys.
How's COVID affected you with the Hollywood movie stuff now? What have you been?
I hear it's terrible. I only make my own little film shorts now, so I only work with friends, and I even stopped doing that. But Hollywood is kind of shut down. I mean, you have to be sequestered for 2 weeks with your acting buddies, with the acting people. Yeah. That's crazy, and a lot of people won't do it. A lot of people are turning down jobs because of that. If you have to fly to another city, people are turning down jobs. It's not good here at all. I mean, people are, and stage actors are screwed, man.
Yeah.
Because theaters are shut down,
Well, also, one of the things that people don't know about you is that you are an artist. You actually create some. I want to show people really quickly. Here's one called The Sad Lady.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, now I'll show you there. There's one, and you got it also up there.
That's this picture right here. I'm sorry to put this over your face, Walt. Maybe Walt.
Here's another one, right? There's another one, right? Oh, there you go.
That's fantastic. That really is lots of color. It's beautiful. Yeah, and there's one other one here. I really enjoyed this one too.
Oh yeah, that one. So all three of those plus 41 more are going on T-shirts. There's a T-shirt right there.
These are on T-shirts, and by the way, if anybody would like to see more of this artwork, you could actually go to thereallarryhankin.com.
Right, the real.
And you can purchase it.
Are there fake ones? Are there fake Larry Hankins out there?
Oh, no.
Somebody stole my name. There's a LarryHankin.com. There's nothing on it, but they're trying to hold me up for money. So I said, the hell with you. The real Larry Hankin.
I did that on Instagram. I'm the real John Peasy. There's another comedian.
There you go.
Easy. So you do what you got to do.
And then
there's also if somebody.
It's so rude of people to do that.
Well, you could also do. I hate Larry Hankin.
Oh. Are you saying that really?
No, I'm not really saying that. I'm just saying. No, it's an option. It's one of those options. People are using the hate word to get people to go to their websites. Like, all right, I hate Larry Hankin.
Yeah, I'm gonna Go to IHateLarryHankin.com. Sure.
I hate that son of a bitch, LarryHankin.com.
Here's another question, Larry. If I audition for a movie, would I be
wait like you talk about?
Right.
What does that mean? Larry, if I audition for a movie, would I be wait like you talk about? I don't know what that means.
So would you wait that long to get a movie role? Because I guess the environment, I would imagine.
Wait a minute, Larry. You just read that straight.
That's right. He's not OCD.
Oh no. See, everything looks like that to me. So when something is weird,
I think we were just punked.
Actually, no.
I can read, but if you give me a page. And I've done this. If you give me a page in a book and there's no paragraph, so it's just one written page, forget it. Basically what it is, because we worked it out, it's my mind is working so fast that if it takes in a whole page, it just gets confused. There's too much information swirling around. So
it's funny.
Little bites, I get it. But if you get a whole bunch, I'm lost.
John, we were talking about this before, that he's been in a lot of really big name TV shows, but he only has very small parts in every one of them. And the reason is he can't memorize lines.
Exactly. There you go. You're the first guy who figured it out. I told people that, but that's exactly right.
Well,
we don't run into that Breaking Bad thing again. But this is way before.
But if you have but this is perfect, though. This is the way you have a big career of like this huge pastel of all these things that you've done, as opposed to rather being Shakespeare.
I figured it out. Here's the thing. I was in 189 movies and TV shows. Okay. Well, if you take each one of those, that's like being in 189 episodes.
Yeah.
So it's the same. In other words, I'm just as famous as being in one sitcom for 189 shows.
John, let me read you some of the characters that Larry has played. These are the IMDb characters. Ready?
Okay.
Janitor, Old Joe, Mortician, the homeless guy, Old Man, Sammy the Sausage, Donut Man, Old Stoner Dude, Old Joe, Joe the Bum, Krusty, Sex Shop Owner, Homeless Man, Bearded Man, Blind Man. This one here, Toothless, Bearded Homeless Guy, and Doobie. Those are the characters.
And you left one out. God. I played God on.
You did. I did.
Oh yeah, on Philadelphia. Some city name of a city.
Well, you said you're dyslexic, so you went to the set going roof, roof, roof.
Yeah, dog. You played dog.
You play dog.
Right over my head.
Just a joke. So listen, but this is more important. I'm thinking about this. So now you're saying that you've had this big body of work. Is there anything that stands out that you love the most in it? And is there anything that you wish if you could do it over, you'd change in your career now?
Well, I would start working on my dyslexia around when I was 18. That's what I would do, because there are ways around it, and I can cope now. There's ways of getting around it, but I started kind of late. So, but Breaking Bad, Breaking Bad, Escape from Alcatraz, Friends. I never watched Friends, but Friends is the most famous thing I've ever been on.
Yeah,
by far, and it's been released all over the world, and I get residuals from it, so it's really cool.
Let me tell you about Friends. When I put up the little thumbnail, the little cartoon that we put up promoting the show, people were hitting it left and right, saying "Mr. Heckles, Mr. Heckles, Mr. Heckles." It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm on Cameo, and so you say you wish people happy birthdays and graduation and stuff. I'm inundated with those. It's the greatest show I've ever been on, just for the popularity of that.
How is Jennifer Aniston and what was the other girl's name?
Well, I didn't get along with anybody. I'm not a schmoozer. I don't get along with anybody. I swear to God, I'm too busy trying to
remember
my lines.
I feel that pain. As he says this, I feel the pain. I mean, I have a script I wrote right here for a song. I've been trying to do it for 2 months. It's 2 pages of stuff. and I keep screwing it up left and right. I have to hold it when I'm singing it. It's like it takes me, once I get something committed though, once it gets locked in there, it'll be there forever.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the same thing, but to get it in there to make
it's
it
like pounding nails into your head.
I never talked to any of those people. I mean, they weren't very friendly, frankly. But
really,
they were well, I was only on the first year, the second year, and the third year, I think.
5 episodes.
So they grew and became, but they were on the up thing.
Yeah.
They weren't leveled off yet. So they were just rich kids, basically. I mean, that they never had money. They were actors, just like me. And then they got all this money and a house thrown at them, and they couldn't handle it.
I'm sure, and that leads us to the next question, because I appreciate him telling the truth too. By the way,
Larry, you're not going to be invited to the Friends reunion. Let's just say that.
I've already been. No, I have been, and I checked to see. No, am I still invited? I'm doing podcasts and talking about them.
So, do you notice this?
Still invited? Why? No, never mind.
When it comes to actors, though, a lot of this is really true. We're all just regular people. We're all poor slobs. We're all just trying to make a living, and all of a sudden something happens, and people can't handle it. Do you notice that in the business that you're in? And by the way, fame doesn't last. Success doesn't last. Money doesn't. It comes and goes. It's part of a growth thing. The thing is, around the people, have you noticed the people that you generally enjoy the most in show business, the ones that are real? When you finally meet somebody that's at the top and they're humble and they're nice, you think, oh my God, this guy's the greatest guy in the world, because he's had it all. He's been there. He's done that. When you see people that are young and they just come into it and they hit, and all of a sudden they get this big bloated ego and narcissism grows out of them, it makes you. It takes away a piece of what you think about humanity. Do you agree?
Well, I have a very low opinion of humanity a priori. So I mean, that has nothing to do with actors. I mean, I just a-holes. I can say. Can I say that?
Of course.
Well, okay, there's a lot of those in everything. But yeah, money does change you. I mean, I'm sorry for all you people who want to be rich. You can be rich, but you're going to change. I mean, don't think you're going to be the same person and you're going to have the same friends, man. It just doesn't work that way. I mean,
I'm ready for a change.
It doesn't work that way. It's you don't work that way. Just keep that in mind.
Did you go through a point where your ego got bigger at one point? Did you have any parts in your career where you were
but I had ADHD and dyslexia, so I was really an a-hole. I mean, because I would talk out of turn, I would talk over people. I think I was, I was, hot, and but I'm very self-aware. I mean, that's one of the things about dyslexia, because I'm always thinking about, how am I looking? Am I making a fool of myself? Am I talking too much? So I saw what I was. I heard what I was, because I watch my movies. I listen to podcasts. I listen to my interviews. I read my interviews, and I'm not reading about, this writer is writing about me wrong. I'm just saying, no, I did say that, and he wrote it down, and that's a stupid thing I said. I see that. So I try to work on me. I mean, because I live in a fishbowl where people turn because of their money. So I'm very aware of it. I don't know if it helps that I'm trying to not turn into an a-hole.
No, I can see.
I'm aware of it, and I try to work with it, on it.
And in case of point, this William Hubbard writes, I have a learning disability, and I'd like to thank you, Larry, comment on my questions, and thank you, Mr. Hubbard. See, so people...
okay, there you go. Thank you. I don't know her name. Who's William? Who's William Hubbard?
Apparently, it's a man that's a woman.
He had a sex change operation.
The reason I talk about my dyslexia on these things is because there's a lot of dyslexic out there. Tell you, who's the guy who, Fonzie, the actor who plays Fonzie?
Henry Winkler.
Big dyslexic.
Yeah.
Big dyslexic. He has a very tough time memorizing lines, but he does it. But see, he is willing to spend the time to learn large roles. I'm not willing to do that because I never really wanted to be an actor. See, so I have a very short attention span, just because I don't care about being an actor. Like on Breaking Bad. Yeah, well, I'm going to be fired. I don't care. If I was an actor, I'd care a lot, man. That's an important show.
Sure. That's a good point.
But
well,
but
I got to tell you, it's great. It was great having you here, Larry. Let me tell you, I would have never thought that you were. I mean, just the characters you play that dull drone guy, and you have a personality. You don't play those on those.
Well, a lot of people don't know me, so I'm doing these podcasts just to let people know that I'm not that guy. Because everybody, oh, you're that guy. Well, yeah, I am that guy, but I'm not that guy. I'm me. I'm an act. I do act. I pretend. I'm a pretender. I don't call myself an actor. I'm a pretender.
The great pretender. Larry, one last question. Hey, tell everybody who's your best friend.
Carl Gottlieb.
Carl Gottlieb. And what's Carl Gottlieb famous for?
He wrote 2 of the Jaws movies, not 1, 2.
2 of them.
He wrote Richard Pryor's movie with Richard Pryor, and he wrote a lot of movies. But and he was the guy who got me out here. I'd probably still be starving somewhere in a cubbyhole somewhere.
But if you could do it all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
I've been thinking about that. I don't know, because my life, though it's been dangerous and crazy and rewarding, I don't know if I would change it, because the stuff that I've been through and nobody's gone through it. I mean, I've had guns pointed at my head, loaded guns. I've had knives at my throat. And it's because I said the wrong thing at the wrong time, because of my dyslexia and my ADHD. So, I'd say, well, I don't want to go through that again. On the other hand, the knowledge that you got, that I got, that one gets from having a gun to your head, and you don't know whether you're going to make it through.
Right.
And obviously I did, because I'm here talking to you. But that's
cool.
Times to me. So I don't know if I would give that up. I have knowledge that not many people, kidnapped people have, hostages have, and I have it,
This just got dark.
Well, what?
This just got dark.
Well, but he asked me a question, and I don't know how to lie. I mean,
one thing about this guy, he's very honest. He's right on the money.
I don't know how to lie. I mean,
appreciate that.
Well, that's why he's had a gun to his head.
I know, but everybody in showbiz is always trying to put
well, no, that was somebody turned. Well, that was it's.
No. Don't.
I don't
want it.
The reason that. All right, then never mind. It's just that's a long story.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go anyway, Johnny.
We gotta go, but we're not gonna put a gun to his head either. Actually, you're a really cool guy.
I said the wrong thing to the wrong person, at the wrong time.
Right, but you're honest.
Thank you.
And what you see is what you.
I use it. So here, let me just finish this sentence. But I don't think I would change my life, because I use it voraciously in my writing. For anybody who pulls out a gun in my writing, if it's a detective movie or it's a thriller or whatever, I know what he can do with the gun, and I know what it would do to put it to somebody.
That's cool.
He's saying he has empathy for the fear.
Well, yeah, it's just it's a writer's life. I've led a writer's life. I can say that I led a writer's life. There's stuff I can write about, So that's what I'm going to do now. So that's what I'm doing now. I just finished a screenplay. So
that's great.
So One Night in the Country. It's a thriller. It's a comedy.
When you have it come out, it's ready. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to promote it. And we want to thank Larry for being here. And tonight, Larry, you're definitely a pleasure, an easy person to get along with. So much fun. It's so nice to see anyone in showbiz that has a career that you've had, and then you're a regular dude. You're not a narcissistic, cover it all up and lie and try to present this facade.
There's no point to it. That's.
I know. I want to thank you for being on here, and anyone that would like to get, especially folks. Look at this artwork. I would love that hanging in my house. It's really brilliant.
Buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Well, hang the T-shirt up. Oh,
buy a T-shirt.
Let's see it.
I think he's in his underwear. He might be in his underwear.
Okay, here you go. Ready?
Go.
Set, drum roll, and.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome.
And there it is, right there.
Where is it? It's right. I'm bringing it up.
So, Larry, they can buy those on your website, right?
TheRealLarryHankin.com. Yeah, you can buy them. Now, not up there. I got to call the designer. She's going to tell me when it goes up, but it's going to go up in a week.
Okay.
So
take a look at it.
And
paintings, those paintings that size are for sale too.
I love them. I wouldn't mind. In fact, I may give you an email because I wouldn't mind that hanging in my living room. I think it's really, really.
Go to my website. Also,
I love that one. Love that.
I love that one. That's my favorite.
You know what's nice about them all? They pop. They have extreme color. They pop.
Colorful. Yeah.
And it's kind of like artsy. It's a little deco-y, and it pops, and it also has this kind of like it's regular kind of piece of art, and then it has the pop on top of it, so it's adding two things together. Kind of. I don't know how you call that.
You got it.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Peasy has money burning hole in his pocket.
Oh, cut it out.
Well, go to my website. There's also my films there, my biography. Spend it on me. I'm worth it. Yeah, okay?
Hey, and by the way, guys, you said you one more thing. You said that you're also on Cameo. So you're cameo.com/
No, just go to Cameo and then type in my name. You go to Cameo and type in my name, and then you'll see me or what the deal is. Or happy birthday, graduation, wedding.
Thank you so much, Larry. You're definitely a pleasure. And
Larry, thank you.
Luck and health. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Larry.
Folks, please go to Larry's website, thereallarryhankin.com, and we want to thank our guests, and we want you guys to please like and share.
Like us on Facebook. Share.
And what else can they do for us?
Thank you to everybody on Strike TV who watched tonight also.
Very happy to be on Strike TV, and we're hoping to be able to I think we're going to be on there every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. So looking forward to that. That'd be great. In the meantime, we'll see you next week.
Next week, what show? What's the show next week?
Jaws.
We're doing a show on Jaws next week, and we have a special guest. Actually, it's not a special guest. Anybody can get Richard Dreyfuss. Anybody can get the big names there. You know who we have? We have the little boy Alex Kintner and Jeffrey Voorhees. So Alex Kintner is joining us next week.
And Jeffrey, he was the person that got eaten up.
He's the little boy who got eaten up on the raft, and then there was a $3,000 bounty put on the shark by his mother.
Okay,
Mrs. Kintner. Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because I love the movie Jaws.
Me too. Who doesn't? Matter of fact, it's one of Larry's favorite as well. There you go. We'll be back next week. Thank you, Walt. See you later
Walt.
on Cool Crap that we love. We're still here. Still here again. All right, this time I'm really leaving. For real.